let's get onto this issue of AGOA. It's quite shocking that Cameroon is scheming, probably or possibly begging their way into AGOA. We do not understand why and how, but the behavior of America as well, tolerating such discussions even after every recommendation they have given to La République du Cameroon, and La République du Cameroon has not respected, is quite unfortunate. Barrister Team, please.
No, well, but I think yesterday on the Over Horizon, that issue of AGOA was adequately handled by Mr. Henso. See, he made a mistake. To the best of my knowledge, since 2019, that AGOA started, we've had two administrations. That was under the Trump administration, and today we have the Biden administration. To the best of my knowledge and my reading, the Biden administration has not changed any position as far as Ambazona is
Yes,
concerned
yes, correct.
concerning Cameroon. The Biden administration is continuing exactly what uh, the Trump administration did. They cannot politically, diplomatically, drive away the Cameroon foreign minister or whoever who comes here to talk. They will listen to you. Politically, diplomatically, they cannot send you away. They will listen to you. But whether they would even do what you want is the issue. I think Barisan Salt explained it yesterday. AGOA was giving, they were admitted to AGOA like other members. The first principle, which is important to the United States, of Trump, of Biden, of Clinton, of whoever, is the respect for human rights. Can anybody in his or her right senses say that the human rights situation in Cameroon has improved from 2019 to today? It has instead worsened. So they can come around and scheme around. I'm not sure they will ever get what they want to get. Because the same embassy, look at the US embassy here when it reports on the struggle, on the human rights situation in Cameroon from 2019 to today, even before then. Remember the shooting in the killing of people in the north? It was not done in 2019. It was not much earlier. So those reports have been persistent. The United States government, there's nothing Cameroon can do to hold the United States government hostage. Nothing. They are just beggars. As a matter of principle, the US is not begging anything from Cameroon. They're just trying to help them. And if they don't comply to the rules, they will not get what they want to get. They are beggars. It's not the US government which is a beggar here. No. They are beggars. They can talk about the Gulf of Guinea. The Cameroon does not own the Gulf of Guinea. There are other countries that are concerned with the Gulf of Guinea that the United States can go to the Gulf of Guinea without Cameroon. So for that, to the best of my knowledge, the Biden administration has not changed from the Trump administration. The human rights situation has not improved. It has instead worsened. They were thrown out because of their human rights records. Essentially that. Not because of the economy. The thing was not put there for that. No. If you want to deal with the American government, to the American institutions, even their own local American company, where they go out to work everywhere in the world, Exxon, whichever company, if you don't respect human rights in those countries, the American government will sanction you back home. So human rights is cardinal. It's not that jungle of Cameroon there. That's what I know. Thank you.
Yes, Paddy.
You see, there is something I really wouldn't want us to miss out on this whole thing. One thing we need to consider, and to consider with a lot of caution, is the fact that La République du Cameroon has lobbyists in Washington, and they are not working in isolation. Or this whole idea of approaching the United States and asking for a rejoin into the into AGOA could possibly be based on advice. What I'm trying for us to process here is what is the rationale, what are their bases? Because we hear their claim is their economy is already improving, and they think for some reason they are competent enough. Um, since they pulled out of the Swiss-led mediation, we've not as much as heard the United States of America criticize their actions publicly. Perhaps the United States of America is considering that La République du Cameroon can handle this whole war of Amazonia as an internal affair. So I'm trying to take it from
No, 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 no,
different
no,
angles to see what could be
no.
the sense of them starting a discussion to be rejoined into AGOA.
Yeah, Paddy, can
Yes,
I?
please. Barrister Fu, I'm coming to you with that.
The AGOA that was instituted was not instituted based on their economic performance. It was instituted based on when they take it away from you, when the Trump administration took that AGOA away from La République du Cameroon, they actually talked of human rights violations,
Mhm.
extrajudicial killings, arbitrary arrest. Those are forms of human rights violations. Arbitrary arrest, and the fact that Cameroon is doing nothing to end the war in Amazonia.
Just so I'm not
And,
cutting
and,
you,
and
SOS Zama, can you hear us now?
no.
He's still not getting us.
And
Okay, go
listen,
ahead, please.
and listen. La Republique doesn't seem to understand why AGOA was withdrawn. Because if they understood, the economic minister, Alamin Osman May, could not come to Washington and meet with their lobbyists, and their lobbyists are lobbying for AGOA to be reinstated when the conditions that were given when AGOA was withdrawn, La Republic has not even begun to respect one, the human rights. Not to talk of, and you made a statement about withdrawing from the Swiss talks. If America has not spoken, it doesn't mean that they are not speaking, Paddy. They don't have to come to this to ABC to speak. They are working because it will be very, very difficult for AGOA to be reinstated to Cameroon if the Cameroon has not moved an inch from the conditions that were laid down when they withdrew the AGOA. And let me say this. Osman May can come to Washington, display all the voodoo economic that they have prepared. We know that the Cameroon economy is sinking. For them to be talking about a 4.3 growth rate and presenting that to the World Bank stakeholders and presenting that to the American people, to American government, and asking for AGOA to be reinstated as if AGOA was withdrawn because of lack of economic growth. No, their foreign minister should have come to tell them that this is the progress we have made in the area of human rights. There is no longer any war in Amazonia. There's no longer any extrajudicial killing. There's no longer any arbitrary arrest. People are not in prison, are not being tried. You will not believe that, Paddy, there are 2,800 and counting Amazonians in La Republique prison system. Whether it's in Kundenge, New Bell, Boya, or Bamenda, or Bafusa. More than 2,800. You know,
I
I
think
don't.
that number you're giving is an underestimation. That should be just the number in Kondengi alone.
Yes, it's too low.
That is the number that I got through the system that I was part when I was defending
Mhm.
Ayuktabe and
But
9
that's an
others.
underestimation because in
Yes, it
2019
could
when
be.
Barrister
It could be.
2019 when Barrister Tim and I did a report, you remember the report we wanted to give to the government and the United and the UNHCR. The figures we had in
At any rate,
2019. Was more than that.
Let's not quarrel with the number, but we know that
No, we're not quarreling
there
the
are
numbers.
many.
Yeah.
There are many.
Yeah.
And I came through an intelligence that these same military people held a secret meeting in Douala, and they were discussing about the release of these prisoners. First of all, they treated the terrorism law in Cameroon, that it was wrong to have applied the terrorism law to Ambazonia. Well, they call it Northwest Southwest. I'm the one calling it Ambazonia. Number two, they said that in the African Human Rights Charter, it is clearly stated that no civilian should be tried in the military court. So what they are proposing now is they should not, all those who are in prison because of the terrorism law, that is terrorism, financement de terrorisme, apologie de terrorisme. I'm just trying to give it in the little French I know. Now, all of them should be released. And secondly, that anybody who was arrested carrying a gun, that case should be transferred to the Ministère Public of where that crime was committed. And thirdly, anybody who killed somebody as a result of arresting, kidnapping, or whatever, should be transferred to the Ministère Public of the jurisdiction from where that event took place. And this was a very secret meeting, which they themselves denied that it never took place. But I want to say here and there that we know, they should know that we know that they have been applying the wrong law on us and tantalizing our people. These are things that makes the United States government not inclined to even listen to any application for the reinstatement of AGOA. If the Minister of Foreign Affairs had accompanied Osman Mayor, who is the Minister of the Economy, and make that presentation, maybe he will be able to prove. I'm not saying that he will prove, because nothing has changed. In fact, it has worsened. Look at the killing. When they talk of extrajudicial killings, we are not only talking about Ambazonian citizens. Look at what they did to Martinez Zogo. That is an extraordinary extrajudicial killing. How can La Republique take his hands, his feet, even, I don't care how strong the lobby they have, to be able to overcome the reasons why the Trump administration took away AGOA and asking, they are now asking Biden to reinstate it. Biden is not only continuing with that decision of the Trump administration, they have also added the TPS, temporary protective status, and that temporary protective status was given because of the war in Ambazonia, and they have given it now. It's benefiting all Cameroonians, because the Americans now consider that there's a war in Cameroon and nobody should be imported to go back. So you have 18 months renewable as long as the war is on. That's the TPS. That is an addition to the AGOA, because they realize that you are not safe in the territory of Cameroon. How can Cameroon be asking down that AGOA should be reinstated? That is the issue. And they are not going to go anywhere. Thank you.